You're listening to Speaking of Voice Acting, and my guest today has voiced for mods such as Maxwell World, Forgotten City, Enderal, I believe, and Interesting NPCs. And she's also done a ton of work for indie games, visual novels, and even some animation. So welcome to the show, Elissa, Adoxographist Park.
Yeah, that's me.
That is you. I'm going to give you a hand. We don't actually have a studio audience, so I'm just going to clap.
Hooray! Yeah. Woo! Applause!
We're just going to splice in an audience, and there's going to be people cheering.
Like the like canned laughter from like old, like I Love Lucy. Yeah. They're just laughing. They're like, oh, this is great. I'm having so much fun, and I'm dead.
Yeah. By the way, if I do drop dead in the next 10 minutes, is because a spider bit me. It just dropped down and bit me. Yeah.
What?
It dropped down from the ceiling and bit me like a few minutes ago. So if I drop dead, it's because of that. Or if
maybe you'll be
join
Spider-Man.
the adventures. Yeah. If I go off to fight an Infinity War.
Yeah.
It's because of the spider bite that happened during this podcast. But yeah.
I haven't seen the last two Avengers, so I watched the trailer and I was like, what's happening?
Yeah. Who are these people?
I know who they are because I used to read Marvel comics a lot when I was like a kid.
Oh, okay.
By kid, I mean like I was in high school. But now that I'm old, I'm like, teenagers are children.
Oh, God. How do they read this garbage? I'm just going to go back to my anime.
I still enjoy them in theory, but it's just that there's so much going on, and I feel like you have to like keep up with so many different comics to like get the full effect, and I'm kind of starting to feel that way about the movies as well. What I liked about them originally was that they were like so succinct. You could just watch them and be like, that's it, that's the movie. But now it's like, oh, you gotta watch Iron Man 2 and all these movies to like understand this new movie, and I'm kind of like,
there's prerequisites now. It's just like, thank you.
They're all just science dudes in armor in like a metropolis. They're all the same guy.
Yes. Yeah, Black Panther was amazing though.
I watched that recently. It was really good.
Yeah.
Man, Michael B. Jordan is so handsome.
Yeah. Well, that's not what I was paying attention to, but I did like the fact that it was like the villains were relatable in a way. I mean, and the
like you could understand how he got to be the way he got to be.
And there was depth to the story beyond being like a standard comic book film. So it's going to be weird when this Infinity War movie comes out and we have a villain who's just in search of like purple stones or something.
Yeah. Just the cartoon villain. Like, the Power Stones.
Yes. And we had this, really in-depth character previously. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting contrast. But anyways, we're getting off topic.
Character previously. Oh, do you mean Michael B. Jordan?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. He was cool, very handsome, good outfits.
Yes.
That's my review.
Yeah.
It was a good movie for other things other than like beautiful people, but yeah.
We're getting off track.
Yeah, we haven't talked about voice acting at all.
No, this is a show about you, okay? Not about Michael B. Jordan. We're here to talk about the real star.
Yeah, but what if I like... Okay. All right, I accept.
Yes. So, voice acting.
Yes,
how did you get into it? Where did you start? What's your origin story?
Very nice segue.
Yes.
So I got into voice acting through the internet. I think a lot of voice actors these days are like mostly like internet voice actors. Mostly I got into it because of fandom. So it was sort of like, oh man, I love this comic. What if I did voice acting to it? And then I found some friends who also were into the same comic and also into voice acting. And then we sort of made a group and we dubbed comics together, and then I got ambitious. I got hungry. And I wanted to do more things, like mods and video games. And then I did those things.
Oh, sorry. And then you did that, is what you said, right?
Yeah, yes.
What comics did you start out with?
Oh, Homestuck. So that's the one that a lot of people still know me mostly as, like, I don't know if you've read Homestuck, but I was in a web series called Let's Read Homestuck. That's like sort of on hiatus, sort of still going on. But I
Mhm.
voiced a character called Jade Harley, and so a lot of people are like, I know you from this, even though it's a thing I started when I was 17 years old, so 7 years ago.
Has the voice not changed much since then?
Oh, the
or-
voice changed a lot because I was younger then, so my voice was higher.
Mhm.
So I could like do a higher pitched voice more naturally, but now that I got old, my voice has dropped a little bit. So it's like harder for me to maintain that voice as easily.
You have a very distinct voice. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. And do you get like typecast as like sort of a badass type character because it's a deeper register, or do you find that people like are still like offering this wide range of roles, like when you first audition?
Mainly, I do tend to get cast as like deeper voiced women or like young boys.
Oh yes, we did
yeah, I
have
get
you do a Falcon
Yeah.
Boy, I believe.
Yeah, the Robin parody. So I do a lot of that. But actually, a lot of people like, because when I do a higher pitched voice, it doesn't sound like a normal human being.
Oh.
So a lot of people cast me as higher pitched characters when it's like more of a cartoony thing,
Mm-mm.
just because it gets really like nasal and shrill, and they're like, that no one sounds like that. So when you want a character who's really out there,
Yeah.
having a really out there voice is like kind of fun.
Yeah, I have a nasal voice too, so I can
Yeah,
feel
I
you
have
on that.
I have such terrible allergies, so I just always sound super nasal.
I don't know. I don't really get that vibe from you. Maybe a little bit if I listen for it, but still, I think your voice has a unique timbre that
Thank you.
that is excellent for this voice acting
thank
thing. Yes.
You're too kind.
So you said you got into mods. What was the first mod that you voiced
Yours.
for? Was it?
Yours was the first mod that I voiced for, and sometimes I like listen to it because it was so long ago. Because that
Oh,
was like
yeah.
also when I first started. I'm like, oh my god, why?
That's what everybody says about their old stuff. It's just like,
Also,
oh.
one of them I recorded while I had a cold, but I like didn't want to make you wait for lines, and it sounds like I have a cold.
Oh, does it? See, I can't
That,
even
to
tell.
me, at least.
I think it's just like personal, just you know.
You're
you
like
j-
harder on yourself.
Yeah. So you voiced which one did you voice first? You voiced Iria, the morgue lady. I
Yeah, that's
believe.
the one when I had a cold.
Oh yeah. No, see that helps because she's supposed to be pretty deadpan and dark
Oh.
and just like morbid, right? So if she's sick on top of that, then you know it's all right. She's just around dead people. She can cough on them all she wants.
Yeah,
It's all right.
she is sick because she's just getting all of these like dead people diseases.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever sort of used that type of voice before in acting or life? Just dealing with people that you just want to go away.
I think her voice is like a little bit higher pitched than mine naturally is. So I think usually when I'm pissed, my voice like goes lower. Actually, so I think if I'm pissed, I'm more likely to like, yo, talk like this, like back off, man, okay?
Yeah.
Because I have an older brother, so it's like how I learned how to be aggressive is through like a masculine influence.
What are some of the things your older brother does that forces you to get into that character?
Oh no, he doesn't do anything. We actually get along super well. We don't fight.
Yeah.
It's just that like when I was a kid, I like looked up to him so much, so a lot of
Oh.
my mannerisms are like adopted from him.
Oh, nice.
So like when I get angry, I talk like him.
So you've never had that like just annoying sibling type thing. So then
I was the annoying sibling.
so you were when we like cast you for Ureni and her dog, you were the dog character. You identified
Yeah.
more with
Yeah, no, I'm probably the dog. I'm disgusting.
In
I
what way?
I just
You can't
I
just
like,
drop
don't
that and
wash
not
my hands
elaborate.
enough,
Oh.
and I like sleep really late, so I wake up and I'm like bags under my eyes and like too tired to shower.
So if people see you out like in public and they see you go to the restroom, just kind of avoid that place. You know?
No. When I'm in public, that's a different story. But if it's just me, then it's like I can live in filth.
Oh, nice.
Maybe this is too personal for this.
No,
podcast,
that's
but
fine. That's fine.
They're getting the true flavor of me.
Yeah. I could smell you coming through the mic right now. It's
I'm not like malodorous or anything.
Oh, okay.
I'm just like a little bit sticky.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. It's good to feel comfortable in one's own filth, I think. As long as you're not like causing issues for others, like in public and stuff, because that's where I sort of like I have this like a similar type of personality in terms of just like I don't mind filth, I'm just dirty and I don't care. But then I realize, okay, if I go out in public, I'm just gonna inconvenience other people, so I have to take a shower before I leave the house and do all that stuff, and just I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wash my hair. I mean, just like
I mean, I guess the more honest thing is it's not that I love being filthy. It's more just like there are only so many hours in the day, and sometimes I feel like my time would be better spent working on these projects or learning this new skill.
You're just a hard worker. That's it.
Yeah, I'm just so like I'm always grinding, you know.
That's the issue. You care too much.
I'm just such an upstanding member of society that I just can't shower, you know. I'm too busy working the grind.
No, you joke, but you have like so many credits. Like normally when I do these things, I've only done like 8 so far, but like normally when I do these, I'm like I look at like a couple of the credits that they've done, and I'm like, oh, I could research this. Yours, there's like 30 different roles that you've done. There's no way that we could probably get to all of them, but it just goes to show like it's not all talk. You're out there grinding. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I always feel like I could be working harder though, because I guess I'm also in the voice acting community. So I'm like looking at all of these other voice actors, and like every week they're just like, I'm in this game. What's up? I'm in this animation. I'm like, oh, damn it. I only did this one thing this month.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. But I think that's just when you are like so enmeshed in a community, you start to like your perception of what output is starts to kind of shift, because you're just like getting all this barrage of information that to a normal person it's like you're doing fine, but you think like I have to be the best, so you compare yourself to what you perceive to be the best. I don't know if that makes sense. You want to be the
very best. You like Ash from Pokemon.
Yeah, I love Pokemon. Yeah. I like when I had to do my university entrance essay. I'm from Canada, so it's called university.
Oh, well, it's called university here.
Isn't it called college in the States?
It depends.
Don't you guys call them college?
Like I went to a university.
Oh, cool.
It was called the University of California, Irvine.
So that's a good school.
It's not.
Congratulations.
It's not. It's the school that people who can't get into UCLA or UC Berkeley, they go to Irvine or Davis. It's just
still a good school.
It's the backup
school. I've heard of it. I've heard of it, and I'm from another country, so that's got to stand for something.
Oh, true. Yeah. But this is about you again. What university did you matriculate
I went to University of Toronto, but when I was applying to university, we had to, as a school assignment, write an entrance essay, like about yourself, a personal essay, and then I wrote mine about Pokemon. And then my English teacher, she looked at it and she was not impressed.
What? Why?
She was like, did you write this as a joke? And I was like, I didn't know what to write about.
We only write about the classics here.
No, she just thought that it didn't properly represent me.
Oh.
But the thing is that like I was so bad at being vulnerable, and I still am. So it was like I can't write anything personal, so I'm just gonna write about Pokemon.
Oh, okay. So you were deflecting.
And then she was like telling me off, and she was like, I see so much potential in you, and this isn't your best work. And then I cried in front of her.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's my cool story.
Did you end up writing about something different or something personal, or did you end up...
I didn't have to write a personal essay for my actual university application in the end, so...
Oh, so you just dodged that bullet.
Yeah. It was, I submitted the school assignment, and I didn't do great on it, but it was done, so...
Yeah, that's the difference between real life and TV. In TV, you probably would have learned a lesson and had some personal growth. In real life, you kind of just like,
Well, now that I'm an adult, I can reflect on it and
yes.
kind of understand why that happened, and like think about myself on, a
and
deep
grow
level,
as a human being. Oh.
Yeah, so I did grow. It just took some years.
Yes. it required a sequel. Didn't happen
Yeah.
at the season finale. But
Yeah. Yeah.
But going back, pivoting back to
Mhm.
mods. After you did some of roles for interesting NPCs and stuff, you also voiced a companion for Maxwell's World, or did you do Forgotten
Yeah.
City first? Should we
I
go in
did Forgotten
chronological
City
order?
first.
Yeah, so you voiced Rastasia. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
For Forgotten
Yes.
City. How was that? How did you get that role? Like, what was that experience like?
Oh, that one I auditioned on Casting Call Club, which is a popular sort of voice acting hub. Yeah, and I got the role. The process was pretty similar to working with you, and I think a lot of people who create mods also kind of have the same process where they just send you the lines and you either send them all in one file or you like split them up yourself.
Yeah, I think I actually referred Nick to Casting Call because he emailed me and then asked me like, okay, how did you get in contact with all these voice actors? So whenever someone works on that project, I wasn't sure if he got it through my website or if they went through Casting Call, but I think I did refer him to Casting
I think I found it through Casting Call Club.
Yeah. So interesting, small world.
Yeah, but I imagine it's like I know most people in the voice acting community. No, that's a stretch. There's so many. But I know a lot of people in it. So probably it's similar. In the modding community, you know a lot of like the same people.
Yeah.
Especially in the Skyrim modding community.
Yeah.
So it's like an even smaller sort of.
Yeah.
Like,
Subculture.
Yeah. Nick's really cool though.
Yeah. I think he's
Yeah.
working on his own game.
Yeah. I hope that goes really well.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad that so many people liked Forgotten City.
Oh yeah. It was.
I don't own Skyrim, so I haven't played it.
Yeah.
But I watched a Let's Play. It was pretty cool.
We'll just avoid spoilers in general, just to
Okay.
save us both the embarrassment of
Yeah.
not being knowledgeable enough. You also voiced a companion for Maxwell's World,
Yes.
which is a pretty big deal. That was like a pretty big quest mod, wasn't it?
Really? I'm not keyed into like a lot of these communities. So I'm just like, oh, this seems really cool. And then I'll do it and then I'll see it and I'll be like, yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, you could be like undercover famous and you wouldn't even know, huh?
Yeah, I have no idea what people think about it.
Yeah.
But I watched a Let's Play of it as well, and it was also really cool.
Yeah. I think it's one of the top quest mods for Fallout 4. I don't know. I looked like recently, and number 1 was like Fusion City Rising, I believe, and then number 2. This is just in terms of endorsements on Nexus, not in terms of actual quality or anything, but because otherwise Tales of the Commonwealth would be at the bottom because everything we make is trash. But
don't say that.
In terms of endorsements, we've got number 2.
Ooh.
And then I think Maxwell's World is like number 3 or 4. I'm not sure, but it's up there. So.
I think in general, if you create a mod that's basically in itself a complete video game, like like Forgotten City and Maxwell's World, when I was watching it, I was like, this could be its own game.
Yeah.
Like it's a full story, like everything. Like if you make something like that, that takes so much work, and just doing that alone is like, woo, big ups to you, you know?
Yeah, especially for free, like just to be able to create this thing on your own and just to get it done. Just that in itself is impressive. Like, you know, it's not even like these are full-time jobs. These are like side jobs for people, right? And but again, it wouldn't be possible without your voice acting, right?
Maybe.
You should get all the credit.
It would be different, I think, without my voice acting. But I have a lot of respect for people who do mods. I feel like in the end it would have been still something great, even if I hadn't been involved in it.
No. it all hinged on you. You were the keystone.
Yes, I was. Without me, it would have been nothing.
It would have fallen apart. Mods probably wouldn't even exist.
I know.
They would just have to take down the Nexus.
I'm the great-grandfather of mods.
Yes.
My name is Adoxographist Nexus, and I created the Nexus forms.
But in addition to mods, you've also done a ton of work elsewhere. You've recently completed voice work for a game called My Time at Portia.
Yeah. I'm not like done recording for it per se.
Not?
No, it's kind of like a work in progress where there's like partial voice acting at the moment, and they'll kind of add it in because it's a pretty big game. But I'm pretty excited about it.
Now the game, I've watched like some of the videos. It looks like it's a town building type RPG.
It's a sort of a crafting game where you sort of improve a town and improve your house by building things and farming things and befriending the villagers and things like that, sort of along the veins of like a Stardew Valley or Harvest Moon,
nice.
but more about building than farming.
Right. And the character you voice, is it a villager? Is it
It is a villager. Her name is Phyllis, and she's a sexy nurse.
Oh, wow.
Her personality isn't sexy. It's just like her outfit is very like.
Oh, is her
she,
personality very bland or something? Or
her personality is at least how I see it is she's like a very friendly, very interested in learning.
Okay.
That sort of thing. Like she wants to be a doctor one day, which isn't how nursing works in real life, but in a video game.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm completely confused. What is the sexy outfit for?
Appeal.
Male gamers? I mean,
yeah, because you can marry people in this game, and she's one of
nice.
the marryable villagers. So, sometimes you want a little eye candy. Oh, sorry.
Did you have to record like a bunch of just like marriage dialogue, just like all that kind of dialogue as well? Was it just...
Not yet. I've only done the introduction type stuff, but I imagine I'm going to eventually. I'm looking forward to that.
How many lines would you say a villager has, or how many lines have you had to record?
I've only had to record like 5, but in the game itself, the game is quite big, so I think a lot is coming up, or I'm hoping a lot.
So it's not like necessarily like dialogue interaction like you would get in Fallout or Skyrim or any of those games. It's more of just mostly text and then just like a few voice lines just to give flavor, just to give the character a voice.
At the moment, but I think they're working towards full voice acting. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. It would probably depend on just logistics, right? Because
Yeah,
that's
I
always
think
the thing
so.
with voice acting.
It takes up so much file space and like so much time to edit and things like that.
I agree. It's just words of wisdom from Adoxographist. Another game you did, which is a complete... Well, I thought it was a complete departure, but maybe not if you voiced a sexy nurse. But you also voiced a couple roles for a visual novel, like dating sim game called Crush Crush.
Yeah. I was a fan of the game, actually.
Oh.
And so being a part of it is like, oh, nice, exciting.
You were a fan of the game. Did it come out in another language before, or?
No, it's an English game, but it didn't have voice acting when it first came out, and then they added it in later.
Oh, nice. So you already knew the characters. You knew their little quirks and idiosyncrasies. Nice. The two characters you voiced are Fumi and Eva.
Yes.
What kind of characters are those?
Fumi is she's what does she call herself? She calls herself like a librarian assassin, and she's from the future.
Oh, nice.
So she's like from very far in the future, and she gets stuck in our time, and she's like kind of trying to get back, and she kind of views the player characters like kind of primitive but charming. Yeah, and she's from a future where like everything is super sexy because it's a sexy game.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
I am glad to know that in the future we still need sexy assassins because
like what else are we gonna do? We're gonna cure cancer and everything, so we've got to be killed by something.
Yes, that's true. I'm glad that there are still people for hire that can perform those sort of things.
She's also like a bit of a scientist as well, so some of her lines are like about like doing experiments and like maybe we can do some sexy experiments.
Oh, wow. The future is a very interesting place.
Yeah.
What about Eva?
Eva is a parody of Rey from Evangelion.
Oh,
so
hence the name.
Yeah, that's why her name is Eva.
So did you have more than 5 lines for that one?
I did. I think both of the characters each had like 200 lines or something.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of dialogue, or maybe together they had 200. It's been a while since I've recorded, but in the hundreds of lines. But Eva is similar to Ray in that she's like a very like quiet, maybe like seems emotionless sort of girl. But then as you build a relationship with her, she like has a little more affection and more vulnerability and is a little more like cute.
Yes. What is that called? It's probably something
Kudere?
Tsudere? What?
Kudere.
Kudere. Oh, like cool?
Yeah.
Oh, is that? Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, because they play it cool at first. Isn't that where that comes from?
Maybe. But I don't know much about Japanese other than the weeb Japanese.
Okay. Well, because in like it's a combination of the English word. It's a portmanteau. It's a combination of the English word cool and dere for dere.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That's interesting. We're learning here.
Yes. This is informative. We're an educational podcast. But so you've done a ton of just voice work outside of mods. Is there anything other else that we haven't talked about that you'd like to highlight? Or
oh boy,
because the list is long. I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited about like a lot of stuff that I've done. Can
you talk about it?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. One of one of the groups of people that I really like to work with is DYA Games. They're games developer that make a lot of like retro based video games, and they're kind of well known for their pixel art. But I've been working with them on like quite a few games for quite a while, so I always like working with them. Most recently they did Strikey Sisters, which is a block breaking RPG type game where I voice one of the sisters, the titular sisters, Marie, and it's a really fun, cute game.
Do you like retro games or in general?
I'm really bad at video games.
Okay. Yeah.
So I play mostly a lot of story-based games because the gameplay is more about like thinking about how story branching works and things like that.
Yeah.
Versus like, oh my god, my reflexes.
Yes.
My reflexes are awful.
Yeah, no, mine too. I think at a certain age, you just give up on trying to be good at video games. Or there's no prestige in it. You realize you just want to flip it to easy mode and play for the story. It's
I'm never gonna win. What is it called? Dota.
Oh yeah, yes.
I've never played Dota. What's the Dota League? The competition for Dota. I'll never win that.
Yes. What is it called? Esports, right? It's like a big thing now.
Yeah, that's cool. I remember when I went to Korea when I was 14, there were like 4 channels exclusively dedicated to StarCraft, and that just blew my mind.
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of the top teams are from Korea, aren't they?
Yeah. There's more of a culture for that, I guess.
Do you think there is a culture for acting as well? Like, are you guys encouraged, do you think, in the Korean community? Because I've noticed a lot of the, not just voice actors, but Asian actors in Hollywood, a lot of them are Korean. So I was wondering, maybe, is there like a more of encouragement community for that as well? Or
I have no clue. I'm Korean, but my experiences as a Korean person would be different from a Korean person from Korea. Because I'm a second generation immigrant. Yeah. My parents are sort of supportive. I think for a lot of Asian people there's like a drive to be successful in multiple fields. And so like a lot of children of Asian parents are like good at like school stuff and then like multiple hobbies, right? Because they wanted to do those things, but because like their parents kind of made them take classes as a kid. So maybe that has something to do with why so many Korean people are in the entertainment business, but my parents weren't super interested in me acting. My family's kind of a music family. So, yeah, so I grew up learning
Where's
how to
my
play.
symphony?
My mom was a trained pianist and opera singer.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so she was very like, oh, learn lots of instruments and things like that. But I kind of dropped it, and I don't know how to read sheet music anymore.
Yeah.
But my brother does, so he
Oh.
can carry
No,
on.
that
the
happens.
legacy.
I think most Asian kids, we all take. I mean, we don't have trained like professional pianists as parents, but we all like take the piano, and then we forget how to
Yeah.
like play it like when we get to high school or something. Like I think I
Yeah.
played till I was like 10 or something, and then I wasn't having it. I was a horrible
Yeah.
child.
I think I stopped at around 12, and then I also learned how to play the flute, and that I carried on until I was like 15.
Nice. Do you still play any instruments or no? Nothing.
No. I kind of want to get back into music, just because I think it would be a cool skill to have. But
I think in terms of just like the video game industry or just the mod industry, it's not an industry, just the mod community. It's somewhat helpful because I've had actors who also make music, so they like voiced characters, and then they've also like made them like bards or something, and they play a few songs.
Cool, yeah.
Or if they have a quest for that character and they want music to play during that quest, they're like, oh, like, hey, I've made this, I've made that. So it is kind of helpful in that regard, and perhaps maybe if you're doing like visual novels, or if you're doing like side scrolls, or if you make music for that, you can just like have one skill like contribute to the other. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know a lot of voice actors who are singers as well, like amazing singers, and like they're all connected, right? It's the same neck, you know.
Yes.
Sound all comes from the same place.
Yeah.
Your
Supposedly.
neck and your nose.
Sometimes it'll come from other places, but
Your
yes.
butt.
Yes. I was trying to allude to it gently, but why don't we just say it, your butt. Your asshole.
Yes.
The second musical instrument of the body.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why that song about beans says that it's a musical fruit.
Yes. It's all connected.
Yeah,
Beans,
yeah.
butts, throats.
I mean, it is all connected.
Yeah.
Your butt and your neck are all
Yes.
connected.
Yes.
Like very long
Yes.
way, but
Just be thankful that in Skyrim you had to go to the throat of the world and not the butt of the world. It would have been a completely different experience. You would have learned how to do magic farts, and it would
that could be fun though. That
True.
definitely sounds like a 2007 Skyrim fan animation.
Or
like one
mod.
of those parodies.
Mod
Or
authors,
mod.
get on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The butt of the world. With the brown beards.
It's a very articulate butt then.
Yes, that's
If
true.
like the game is still the same, but instead it's like the animation is the guy, Fusroda guy, like bending
Yes,
over with his butt out.
It's a very skilled. But I mean, to be able to like enunciate and the different words.
His
but
name
yeah.
is the Dragonborn. I just remembered.
But yeah, what were we talking about? We were talking about being multifaceted and
Yeah.
being able to apply those skills into different places. But you can only do that if you have the passion for it. I think if you don't have the passion for the music,
Yeah.
then it's better to just stick with the voice stuff.
I think that's just the way it is with anything, you know, like when you're a kid, you don't really know what you like because your personality is still kind of forming. So having people force you to learn skills is like a good way to like become more well-rounded and understand yourself and your interests better. But when you're older, you're kind of like, oh, I know I don't like sports, so I'm not going to be doing that.
I know I don't like Shakespeare, so I'm going to be right about Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. But now it's if you want to learn a skill, then it's because you like have a genuine passion or desire to learn that skill, which is cool.
Yeah. And you have that passion for voice acting, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think so. I try to pick up different skills that are kind of like adjacent. Like I've been doing improv and things like that for.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not very good at it.
Oh,
If you
gotta
ever
start
see me at
somewhere.
if you ever see me at a gym, just tell me I do great and pretend I didn't do terrible because I know I do. But and I do want to actually like learn how to sing because I can't sing very well. But
Because if you want to voice a bard someday, it's gonna come.
yeah,
handy.
right. And also a lot of the same sort of like technique goes into it, like yelling and singing apparently like have a lot of the same sort of technique in them. So I can just get really good at yelling.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Just yell instead of singing. Just if you get invited to sing the national anthem, just yell it. Probably be better than Fergie, but you know.
It's more, I actually haven't heard that. I heard on the radio people making fun of it, but I don't know what she sounded like.
Oh, she tried to do a sexy version of it.
Oh, wow.
That's,
Very Marilyn Monroe.
it's not a sexy song, but neither is Happy Birthday, is it?
Yeah. But
Like,
Marilyn, maybe she's this generation's Marilyn Monroe.
oh, possibly. I don't know. I mean, kudos to her for taking the risk, right?
Yeah,
But
right?
It's still national anthem is one of those things you don't take risks on. You got to do it straight. It's just yeah.
The people take like the risks that they take are like the vocal pyrotechnics where they're just like
Yeah.
for like 15 seconds straight.
Yeah. Yeah. Might as well just yell it.
Yeah, I think that could be powerful.
Yes. It's like a dragon shout, more or less.
Yeah, and then people will be like, "Oh my god, the passion.
Oh,
Oh,
I can
love
feel it.
sports." Cuz they're going to be yelling soon for sports.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
It is one of man's great passions to watch other grown men put balls into a hoop.
Yeah, I'm impressed by athleticism actually. I don't like watching things like football or soccer or football again as the Europeans call it.
Both footballs. Not
The two footballs, I don't like watching
Yes.
those ones or basketball because there's so many rules. It's very complicated and I can't
You
keep
wound
up.
me.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. You like what you like.
Yeah.
It's not my fault you have horrible taste. No, I'm kidding.
I'm
No,
sorry.
No, you have great taste. It's
Oh,
me.
thank you.
It's me who's deranged.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, everyone likes different things and all of those things are like cool and impressive in their own way. It's more it's not that I think like team sports or things like that like basketball are bad. It's just that they are really complicated. They have a lot of rules and like a lot of players and I have to know a lot to watch it and enjoy it and I'm like, no. But if I watch like someone like the Olympics, I watched them do the snowboarding and then they did like the flips and I was like, yeah,
Oh, looks impressive.
amazing.
It's easy to understand. It's
Yeah,
very
basically.
visceral.
You did a flip. I know that's good because it looked cool to me.
Yeah. One thing that you are a fan of, according to your Twitter, you're a bear enthusiast.
Yes. It's my
Yes.
favorite animal.
Yes. You're a Kumamon fan.
Yeah, that's my favorite character of all time and like I don't have a bucket list per se, but like one of the things that I definitely want to do before I die is meet Kumamon.
Where did that come from? Are you paid by the Kumamoto Prefecture in any official
No.
capacity?
It was I saw a photo of Kumamon when I was like in my first year of university or something like that and I just thought like this bear is so funny and I would just constantly link photos of Kumamon as like reaction photos to things. And then like my like quote unquote ironic enthusiasm for the character ended up being a genuine enthusiasm because
Nice.
I just think the design of the character is so cute. And when you watch videos of him, he's got this kind of like rascally personality and he dances and he's fun to watch. And I just think Kumamon is so great and so cute. And I love him.
If you had to, could you write an essay on him?
Maybe, but I don't think it'd be a very good essay because it would be very like Kumamon is really cool. I like Kumamon. It wouldn't be very academic.
Can you sing the song?
Do 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 do. I don't know the words. 'Cause
No, I thought it was great.
Oh.
And that's a perfect way to end this interview. I want to thank you again for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Sorry I didn't talk much about voice acting.
No. Do you want to talk about more about voice acting? Anything else you want to add? Any advice? Any comments on it? On the state of it?
I don't know. If you're into it, just do it. That's really it. I think a lot of people sometimes get into it because they think it's like a quick and easy way to get internet famous. But look at me. I've been doing this for 7 years and no one knows who I am. So maybe look elsewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe Minecraft role plays.
Yeah. It's not the easiest path to fame, but if anyone can get there, I believe you can. You just got the work ethic and the talent. So
I'm mostly doing it because I think it's really fun and
yes.
I enjoy it a lot more than like, give me the sweet internet fame, the Twitter followers.
Have you ever thought of doing anything to get internet fame? Doing like a vlog or Twitch or things where you put yourself out there just in public?
I don't.
I would take that as a no.
Yeah, I think a vlog could be fun. Like I tried doing a podcast for a while, but it mostly petered out because it took a lot of work, more work than I expected. But
Yeah.
I would be more interested in doing a vlog as like a record of like kind of like a diary more than anything.
Yeah, I think it would be awesome. So thanks again for coming on, and let's talk to you soon.
Yeah, talk to you later, man.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye.